Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Today's question is summary ranges. In this question, we are given a sorted unique integer array nums. We have to return the smallest sorted list of ranges that cover all the numbers in the array exactly. That is, each element of nums is covered by exactly one of the ranges and there is no integer x such that x is in the one of the ranges but not in the nums. So, each range a comma b is a list which should be outputted as a arrow b if a is not equal to b and a if a is equivalent to b. So let's understand this with the help of an example. See, the input array is sorted but unique. So we can see that 0 1 2 4 5 7 and the ranges which can be formed is, see, 0 1 2 are continuous in nature, that is they are differing each other by 1 and they are continuous. So this 0 1 2 can be represented as one range, but 0 1 to 4 can't be represented in one range, because if we represent 0 1 to 4 as 0 to 4, then it means that there should be 3, the 3 should also be present in that range, but we can see that 3 is not present in the nums array. So we just have to include those number in our particular range which are continuous and differ each other by 1. So you can see that 0 1 are differing by 1 and 1 and 2 are differing by 1. So they are continuous natural numbers. And similarly 0 1 2 is forming a range, and again 4 5 is also forming a single range, and 7 is a single element, so it can be counted as a single range. So the output will be from 0 to 2, then from 4 to 5 and 7. This will be the output. Example 2 is 0 2 3 4 6 8 9. So here we can see that the difference between 0 and 2 is greater than 1. So 0 is encountered as a single range, then from 2 2 3 4 they are continuous in nature and differ by 1. So 2 3 4 can be counted as one range, that is 2 2 to 4. Then 6 and 8 differ by 2, so 6 is counted as a single range. 6 and 8 9 are continuous in nature, therefore they are encountered as the single range. And if our nums is empty, then we just have to return empty array. If our nums has single value only, then we just have to return our single value only. So now let's just dive into the code. This code is pretty straightforward. So what we'll do, first we'll write the base cases. If our nums dot size is double equivalent to 0, what we'll do, see, first we have to declare a vector of string which we have to return. So what we'll do, first we'll declare a vector of string, vector string v. Now if our nums dot size is equivalent to 0, it means that we have to return the empty vector, that is v. Now what we'll do, we will take two variables, int start is equal to nums of 0 and int end is equal to nums of 0. The start variable will denote the starting point of the range, and end variable will denote the ending point of the range. Now what we'll do, we will simply traverse over our entire array in a single pass only. Int I equal to 1. Why I equal to 1? Because the value of nums at 0 has already been considered, and I less than nums dot size and I plus plus. Now see, let's solve it using this example, that is 0 1 2 4 5 7. So initially our start and end are both 0 because they are initialized with nums 0. Now we are iterating the loop from from first index to rest of the index. So what will happen, see, if our end plus 1, if our end plus 1 is double equivalent to nums I, in this case our end was 0 and end plus 1 is 1. Now 1 is equivalent to nums I and nums I is also 1. So what we'll do is, it means that this particular nums I will also be taken into account of the current range. So what we'll do, we will update our end is equal to nums I. We will update our end. So now our starting point will be 0 and our ending point of a current range is 1. So this 2 can be encountered as a single range. Now if this is the case, then end is equal to nums I, and if this is not the case, it means that our end plus 1 is not equal to nums I. See, first end was 0, then we encountered 1, so end plus 1 was equivalent to 1, so our end was updated to 1. Now again we encountered 2, means again we encountered this if condition, that is end plus 1 is equivalent to nums I. So end plus 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 will be also equal to nums I. So then also our end is updated now. So at currently Now currently we are at 4 and our start is at 0 and our end is at 2. So else means that our end plus 1 is not equal to numzi. So we can see that 2 plus 1 is 3 and 3 is not equal to our numzi. So in that case what we'll do, we will form the range of this type, of these type, and append it into our vector of string. So what we'll do, now we know that we have formed a particular range which we are starting and ending point, and we just have to convert it into the string, into these formats, and append it into our vector string. But there are also two conditions. What are the two conditions? If a and b are not equal, then we have to form like this, and if a and b are equal, then we have to form like this. So what first we'll do, first we'll check whether if our start is double equivalent to end. So it means what we have to do, we will take a string x, and it will contain only a single value, that is either the start or the end. So we will convert it into the start into toString, and then we will simply just push back our x into the vector. So this was the case when our start was equivalent to end. But what if our start is not equal to end? So else is the case. What we'll do, we will declare a string x. It will contain toString start. Now x plus is equal to, here start and end are not equal, so we will have to add arrow in between start and end. So what we'll do, x plus is equal to arrow, and then again x plus is equal to the end, that is toString end. Now what we have to do, we have to just simply push back this vector, this string into our answer vector, that is v. So we will push back x. Now if and else conditions are over. So we were at numzi, and we have already formed this range, and we have appended this range into our vector. But now we have to update the start and end position also. So what will be our start? Start is equal to numzi. Here numzi is represented by 4, and our end is also equal to numzi. So we have appended the start and end positions in our else condition, of final else condition. So now after this loop is over, we can see that after this loop will be over, we can see that our output vector will contain this range as well as this range, that is 4 to 5. But it will not contain this range. Last range will not be present in the final vector which we have to return. So for this to put our last range also into the vector, what we'll do, we will simply repeat this step, that is if start is double equivalent to end, then what will happen, and if else is if start is not equivalent to end. So we will repeat this step also again. We will repeat this step so that our last range can also be included in our final vector. So this was the entire code, and after this code we will just simply return the, just wait a second, we'll just simply return the vector, because now the vector v will contain both the ranges, all the ranges, whether it is start or whether it's end range. So we'll simply return v from here. So now let's just run the code. So you can see that it is getting accepted. Now let's just submit it. So it is 100% efficient code. So I hope guys you like the video. Thank you.